It's going to be a good night. I don't know exactly how long we're going to be on tonight. But we are on. We're going to try to get at least an hour, and we do have a couple things planned. First, we're just going to kind of say what's up to everybody, welcome in the stream, and then, yeah. Thank you, anyone. If you're just coming in, make sure you leave a like, make sure you say hello. We're going to share the stream real quick, per usual. All that good stuff. Yashrana, what's up, man? Arco Paul, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Guy. We're just going to share the stream real fast, do all that good stuff. We do actually have something planned out for tonight. We're going to be having an interview with Coach Midnight here soon. I'm just going to get the stream set up first. Hold on. Midnight, no impact. Damn, bro. Arn, what's up, man? I can't believe your name is still 0.1%, bro. That's crazy, bro. It's been so long, man. It's been so long. Hold on, we gotta get the link real fast. Link. Paste. Done. Recaps, all that good stuff. Let's get the tea going. I guess Clippers should know their limits and ask for spreading news. Why? I don't know, bro. I mean, it is what it is, bro. Listen, guys. If there's anyone that's had it tough with Clippers, it's this guy, man. If there's anyone that's really had a hard go, and you know who always welcomes every Clipper into my chat? This guy. When Zeke Kills comes inside, I say, what's up, man? It is what it is. I get it, man. It's whatever. If I don't want people to hear what I'm saying, then I probably shouldn't be saying it. And when I say something stupid and I pay the price for it, that's life, man. That's life, you know? It's made me a better man. It's made me a better man. It's made me a better man. What comments? No. All right. Hold on. Wait, is it that bad, guys? Nah, it's not that bad, bro. It's not that. Oh, shit. There's 13K views. Yeah, I think where he's gonna get the most is that first comment that he made. But it is what it is, man. The first thing he's gonna get is because he was like, I hate it when people do deny picks. He's gonna get a lot of stuff from that, but comments ain't even that bad, bro. Comments aren't even that bad. Look, there's one that says this, though. Look at this. Look at this. You know what the best comment is? Should I reply to this one? There's a comment in this. There's a comment that says, another clown. Second TREX. Thumbs up. I'm going to respond to that. Hell yeah. Screw that. Wait. Let's put this on screen real fast. Let's put this on screen real fast. Let's put this on screen real fast. Hold on. You ready? Alright, look. Another clown, second TREX. In my American voice. Hell yeah! Screw that guy, TREX. He's a effing scumbag. America. We already did, bro. It's already said. Hold on one second. I have a phone call coming. Do I have my mic on? Yeah, I have my mic on. Hold on. Nah, like I can answer back if it's funny, man. I can answer back if it gives me joy. Like, I get what you're saying, like don't feed them, that's what they want, but at the same time, like a little trolling back's always fun here and there. As long as you can handle it. I've gotten a lot better at knowing when I can emotionally handle trolling back with someone and how far I can go. I did a group stage prediction for Game of Future, man. Does Liquipedia have what does Liquipedia have up for us right now? I'm also wondering, does Game of Future have the prize pool split yet? It does not have the... Oh, it does! 350,000 to first place, 160 to second, 120 to third, 70 to fourth. Fifth through eighth get 35,000. Even 13th to 16th get 15K. That's big, boys. Are all the rosters in yet? ZX1? Who did ZX1? Who did ZX on? Sean? Who did Sean play for? Who did he play for again, guys? RQ is cooking right now. They're giving false info to the public. What do you mean? I mean, having any experienced player could be huge for them. Wait, this game's live right now? Are these games live online? Nope. Sad. He's from Singapore? That's what that sounded familiar, something like that. Okay, so they don't show qualifiers here at all, huh? I don't know why they didn't invite who didn't invite. He's doing great in scrims, but what Mirko here on rumor said RQ is doing worse, so he might trust Evo's statement. Oh. So like, you guys, you gotta understand too. Like scrims, it might be a good thing that doesn't. So here's a take. Doesn't RQ? They have Coach Vren now. Wasn't Vren part of? Vren was AP Bren? Question mark. Coach Vren. Yeah, so Coach Vren was part of AP Bren, right? So there's something that I've heard from some Filipino casters, and that's that AP Bren loses in scrims a lot before big events. And one of the reasons why is because if you're winning all your scrims, then you're not really learning anything. So they really kind of like limit test a lot of things I've heard in scrims, AP Bren. Like they really like they should go into those scrims trying different things. They shouldn't be like coming in there like playing like they're gonna play exactly in a tournament lob like for the main event, right? You don't want to be try-harding with all your best picks and all your comfortable picks and all your comfort things and all the drafts that you always do. You should be doing something different. And if you're doing something a little bit different in scrims, you may not win them all. And maybe some of that mentality's gone over. If it's true that RQ is actually losing scrims, you never know. Because in the past, RQ has, like from what I've heard, is in past big events, like RQ does well in scrims and they do shitty in the tournament. Like they'll do really well in scrims and then they'll kind of whiff, you know? So it's not a bad thing that they're losing scrims. I'll say that much. right, so we're gonna be bringing Midnight into chat here in a second. I'm gonna have a little talk with him, vibe with Midnight for a bit. Before we get to, if you guys have questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. We're gonna have Coach Midnight here. What's up, comrade?
Sup, comrade?
Comrade, how are you?
I'm fine. This
How's
is
it-
probably inappropriate considering that GOF is here.
How's it going in the land of the East?
It's still hot here, comrade.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna put. So you guys made it out of. You guys made it out of qualifiers. Well, at least the first part of qualifiers. How does it feel? Was it easy?
I mean, it's okay. Like, it was kind of expected, but it's it's a thing where you finish the first part, you feel okay, and then you get ready for the next part, right? So it doesn't feel like good at all. I mean, it's nice that we got the first stage out of the way, but still, we have the last stage of the qualifiers to play too. So still, still pretty nervous.
Is there nerves there? Like, are you a little?
I mean,
no matter what,
for
there's
me,
nerves, but like, do you feel
yeah.
comfortable? But like, do you have some nerves? But is there still like some confidence there, or is it like, are you on edge about it?
I think the confidence is like at an all-time high. It's just that you get nervous because you experience like a lot of things that are seemingly like unsolvable. Because like problems will arise, and there's a lot of things that you can't control, so you have to deal with it. So those are the things that make you nervous. Like the team is in a good shape, but you can't help but think, what about the unforeseen problems that might come in the next few weeks?
Yeah, I feel like as a coach, like, because once, like, you can only do so much, and then once the draft is over, once the game is on, you just kind of have to sit there, and you see it all, right? Like, you see all the mistakes.
Yeah.
And like, once they're in game, it's like you no longer, and once it's like tournament time, you no longer can be like, hey, don't do that. Hey, what are you doing, bro? Like, oh, why are you rotating that way? Like, and that's got to be nail biting. That's got to be probably one of the most frustrating parts of being a coach, I feel like.
It is. Like, if you ask every coach that or even like players and stuff, if you ask them what position is the most stressful, like people would say coaching is the most stressful, because like the players have a say with regards to the outcome of the game, right? Because they're natural ones playing the game. But as a coach, you literally can't do anything. After the draft, you sit down, you watch a game, and that's the time where you feel like the weakest, because you don't have anything to put in to kind of control the outcome. So you're just there. You're just there, and you're helpless as you're the most helpless person in the world. So I think that's the most stressful part about the coaching stuff,
Yeah.
right? Because the thing is, like, the players, they have they have that confidence. Once they get inside the game, they don't really care about anything at all. But as a coach, after the draft, you do care about the outcome, but like, you're just there, you're just watching the game, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. So it's stressful as hell.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's got to be the roughest part. So with the roster, so right now it's what? Zane, Nicolette. Is she gonna go by Nicolette, and is that gonna be her IGN in main tournament? Do we know, or is it gonna be Apple?
I never did ask. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna be her IGN. I knew her from Nicolette, by the way. And when the guys told me that Apple is Apple is gonna be trying out, I was like, who the hell is Apple?
Who the hell is Apple? Hell yeah. A lot of people I think missed that correlation too, because she was Apple like even before I was around.
Yeah,
she was
that's what I was
Apple.
told.
Like even longer than when I was around. So like even whenever I first learned about Nicolette and like started seeing her playing cast games, and people would say Apple, and I was like, who the fuck is Apple? Why are they calling this person Apple? That's Nicolette. What are y'all talking about?
I didn't know, dude. That like I'll watch. I started watching NACT back in 2022, and then I saw like Team Sexy, all the stuff, 877. You know, I know all the players, most of them, like Galaxy, Mark Cutie. I'm very familiar with all the players in NACT, and I know that Nicolette played in NACT.
Yeah,
But when she got into the roster, I was like, "Who the fuck is Apple?"
that's
And
funny.
then they told me, "Oh, that's Nicolette." And I was like, "Wait, hold on, is that Nicolette from the past NACT?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. For me, I've always held Nicola highly. My chat knows I hold Nicola highly. I always speak well of her. For me, she's always kind of been like a top three, like up there. I mean, we don't have like I think we have a pretty low mage pool. Honestly, it's
Oh
like
yeah.
Hoon, Yato, Nicolette. Like those would be like some of my tops, right? I don't really know. I mean, Demon did good last season, but obviously he didn't make the cut this season. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then who else? So we have Zane, Nicolette, Basic and Gold, Seed
Yeah,
Coal
Cold World.
World, and Arvel for Rome. And then
Yep.
who's EXP again?
Mellow, mellow,
Mellow,
Milo.
Mellow, Mellow.
Yep.
So how does it? So like with the new team, of course, like all of these guys have like at least ranked together over the past 3 years. Like at some point, everyone has probably at least played together a few times, right? But
Yep.
how is like synergy building going? How are things like that going? Is that kind of like I feel like everyone kind of has some of the talent there, but one of the biggest hurdles has to be the synergy, right?
Yeah, I think with BTK and in general, it's harder to build like natural synergy because like different players have different play styles, have different approaches of how you want to play this part of the game, and I feel like it's a lot more work, like especially for me, to sort of like build synergy with this team because you can't really force synergy, you know.
Yeah.
It just comes naturally. Like the way I do it is like you put the players and you know in different positions to help them sort of like build this overall approach in the game so that they stick with one page. But again, having this like difference in terms of overall play style, it does like you know put a limit to how synergized a team can be. But with BTK, the thing about this team is that they really are like putting in the effort. Like it's a change that they are really trying to improve on. Like they want to synergize, they want to build a good chemistry, and they want to you know start thinking as one unit. So I think it's not just me, but overall the team is helping themselves as well to sort of like build the synergy, remove the difference with how they play the game. That's why they've been playing a lot of RGs, and I think that stuff helps because again, like you can't really just force out synergy out of these players. At some point, you really just have to play the game with each other.
Oh yeah. So what's the vibe like in VC? Because I know like for me hanging out with you, we're always fun. We're goofy. We're wild. I've seen Zane's goofy side. I've seen Zane's serious side. I've seen Basic's goofy side. I've seen his serious side. But like whenever game's on, is everyone get wild in VC? Does everyone kind of like lock in and get super serious? Do you guys have fun? Like what's the vibe like with the team? You know, is it a more serious side team or does everyone have a little fun here and there?
I would say the more the team is more serious when they're actually playing the game. They don't really want to like joke around and stuff. I mean they're still noisy. Like when they make a play, people would be shouting. You know the typical nice, that's a good play, stuff like that. And there will be some jokes being cracked here and there. But overall, the mood of the team whenever they're playing, they're really serious because it's like we're on a stage of, especially for BTK, like we're on the stage where we need to clean out comms because like most of the games that we play, the pacing or the thing that dictates our overall movements are the comms. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like at this point, like compared to where we were 2 weeks before, we were much noisy back then, but the team like has more, you know, has more clean. Uh, it's hard to say, but
Just kind of cleaned up
let me put it
overall.
this way. Yeah, it's sort of like you're in a room and you're only hearing things that you're supposed to hear. So I think that's where I'm gonna put it.
Okay, I think, and speaking on comms, this is a question that like a lot of us always wonder about teams and things like that. I think that viewers and people wonder like, who would you say from let's say more like mid late game, or I don't, maybe it's the whole game or whatever, but when things really come down to, who is the major shot caller? Who is the one who's like got the final say of like, let's take this fight, let's not take this fight? Or is it more of always a group conscious? Like, is there a team captain? Is there someone that kind of has the last say so on things in game?
It's mostly Zane and Basic.
All right.
Because the thing is, like these two players, like from the perspective of the game, these two should be just the shot callers, especially on late game, because they do dictate like a lot of the things
Yeah.
that happen in the game, and it's also more of like
Experience.
the overall experience and knowledge, right? But when it comes to like finalizing a call, it's actually the team that does it together. If somebody sees that it's not a good play, they will make it. If somebody sees that here there's a good alternative, they will make it. Because the thing is, like, that's how you also build trust. Like, if the team sees this and somebody like there is some guy that can actually finalize something or reject something. So the thing is, like, with the team, even if we make mistakes, we make it as a team. That's the
Mm.
most important part. So if we do this call and then it fails, we're gonna like review it, and the all the stuff. If somebody cancels that play, it was a good play, we'd see it after review and we'd see that, oh, okay, maybe you didn't see it. So that's how you sort of like build this trust and help the team think as a unit. So I think there are two major shot callers, but when it comes to like finalizing a play, it's a team that sticks with the final move. If this doesn't feel right, the team cancels it.
Okay. I like it. I think right now like BTK is in a nice spot. I'm hype about. Someone asked me the other day like what team I'm most hype about, and it sounds based, but for me it kind of is BTK once again. For reasons, and my reasons is it doesn't really have anything to do with Zayn as much. It's more of like once again, like last year I was really hype about them because it was Yato, Baj. We had a couple of these, you know, third place, fourth place type team players that are now up in the front line. And then once again, we have Colwhirl, we have Nicolette, we have Arvel, we have. I mean, Milo has been in a first place world stage team, but again, we're taking some of those players that I feel like have had a kind of a blind eye turned to them for a long time, or have just never been on
Mhm.
the number one or number two team before, like
Yeah.
haven't been on a Hoon team and haven't been on a Zane team, finally
Yeah.
having that shot. And that's what's kind of exciting for me. So for you, seeing them, like now having them part of your team, um, like how are you feeling about them? Do you think everyone needs work? Do you think some of the newer players need a little more work? Do you think like are you happy with the team you have right now? How do you feel about everybody?
Oh, like for me, for sure, from my perspective, I told this to the players, like everyone needs a couple of things that they need to work on, but I'm very much happy with like where they are right now. Because the thing about NA is that you have like a lot of mechanically gifted players. It's not like NA is far beyond Southeast Asia because of the mechanical skills. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of actual good players here in NA. It's just that what what the difference is the macro understanding
Macro,
of the game. Like
yeah.
it's overall like less mature compared to how Southeast Asia treats MLBB, like the objectives, the group up and stuff, advanced concepts like pressure, early game rotations. That's why I feel like when you're looking at teams right now, everyone is a skilled. Maybe it's a skilled as TOB. Well, most likely not Shark, but because I think Shark is still a very very good player as well as a very good roamer. But I feel like most players can actually match up well with these top tier players. So you have like the players that you mentioned, like Cold World, Nicolette, and there's a lot of those in the NACT right now. If you look at other teams, if you like
Mm-hmm.
do your research, look at the names, they have like these amazing players that are not well known. But from my perspective, I'm very much happy with what I have because, like, for me, it's not the mechanical skill that dictates how I want you as a player or how much I want this guy in my team, but rather the attitude. And the thing about BTK right now is that they're in a very good position or spot in terms of like overall attitude of how we approach this like period where we're training for NACT. And I think that's a good thing because BTK, like for the last few months that I've heard this team, always like a lot of things that are negative. but now they're in a very good place. They're in a very good spot. They're very positive about like the upcoming things, and that's why that's why I like this team, because this is a team that I can see winning, and I can see that they also want to win, not just not just with sheer confidence, but also the attitude of we really want to win. So whatever we need to do, let's do it.
So I'm guessing everyone has been like, so like with them having that type of attitude, everyone's been pretty like welcoming of you, because that was going to be one of my next questions. Like Zane's always been kind of weird about having a coach and everything. So I'm wondering like, how is the team taking to you? Like Basics already worked with you, so you're already kind of in there. My guess is Cole World's probably pretty cool about it.
Oh yeah,
Nicolette is probably very open to whatever. She's just happy to be there, you know.
yeah.
How has it been for you, kind of winning the trust of these players? You know, because that's got to be a job as a coach too, right? Like they have to
Yeah.
not only trust each other, but they have to trust you as someone who can like tell them things and show them things and kind of be willing to listen when you point out some of these mistakes and stuff. Has that been super smooth for you? Has there been some little hurdles? Like you don't have to get into detail, but has there been little hurdles you've had to kind of get past and some winning and losing moments, you know?
I gotta be honest. I don't think I can answer that, because like that should come from the players.
Yeah,
But
that's fair.
for me, it has been like an overall smooth experience. Like
Cool.
I personally know that of course, like the very first few weeks, there would be like a wall that would separate you between the that would separate the player and the coach.
For
But
sure.
that's like part of also my responsibility to break that wall down without having my players turn against me. Like it shouldn't be like coach versus players. It is coach and players. So that's sort of like my responsibility. I feel like from my perspective, we did that pretty well, because we are like gelling together, especially during the qualifiers. You'd feel the trust, the bond, and also like just, the overall synergy of the team. So I feel like, again, from my perspective, it worked well. It wasn't an easy ride for me, but overall it was smooth, considering that like all the things that surround NA as a region, like the ego and stuff. I think we've overcome that pretty well. But again, I can't answer that specific question. Maybe the players can answer it for me.
I'm sorry if like, and again, most of these questions are kind of just coming off the top of my mind. Even when I kind of was about to, I was asking, I was like, should I ask this? So I'm very glad that you're so
No,
well
it's all right.
spoken, Midnight. It's good that you're a caster as well, because you're very quick. And
Thank you.
I'm like, God, thank God, Midnight. I'm like, because I don't want to like, I'm not trying to like put you in a bad spot or anything.
Yeah,
Like
we're
I'm
PR
just
trained, bro.
very good. Like, man, you sound great, bro. So did you guys have like did you even look at the bracket for qualifiers before you guys went into it? Did you know all the
Oh
teams
yeah,
you could possibly
we
go
did.
against?
We
Um,
did.
so I guess the major worry was what, like Legacy and Area 77. You guys went against those two teams, right?
Yeah, Legacy and A77 was like the main point why we weren't really that nervous, but we knew they would pose a challenge, because
Yeah.
like coming down to lower bracket sucks. So I feel like there was a thorn in the neck that these teams we would be facing, but also the idea that we either way we need to beat like A77, Legacy, even DA, GG, whatever team it might be. Like this is an open qualifier. If we want to get to top 8, we shouldn't mind like playing against these teams. It's just a matter of like how do we go, like what the journey is for the qualifiers. And I think A77 posed the biggest problem. That's why we prepared against them the most. But overall, we felt like it was gonna be like not an easy bracket, but uh like we wouldn't really struggle that much,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
knew from the very first day that it's gonna be
It's
quite
possible. Like
okay
you can
for
do it.
us.
Yeah.
Possible, because
There's good
the team was
percentages.
in a great shape during the qualifiers.
Unless they just like mess up or play bad, like they have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless
Yep.
there was some huge mistake, then they could get through qualifiers. So someone asked earlier, and someone asked earlier in the chat, was there any was there any exact prep you can name of to go against Area 77? Because I missed that game. Someone said you dominated them. Was it like they didn't even get a kill or something, or like it
Yeah.
was like a complete stomp?
It was. I wouldn't say it was a stomp, but rather they A77 couldn't play the game that they wanted, because we kind of forced them into a comp where they were not comfortable playing with with it because A77 is a very aggressive team, and I feel like
Mhm.
against like our lineup and what the heroes we gave to them, they couldn't play, their play style. Because the thing is, like, we prepped the draft against A77 like 2 days prior, and we all had the data and stuff. Like there was something there was I mean, there were a lot of things that we needed to, like, get our hands on, but there was this one thing where I would just put it in the draft and tell my team to play this way, and that gave us, like, the ultimate, the edge against A77. That's why it worked that way. That's why the game turned out that way compared to, like, our game with Legacy, because that was a little, to be honest, that was rougher. Like, that was a game
Yeah,
where
what they took the Barats,
Legacy
right?
could have actually,
Didn't
yeah,
Riles
exactly.
grab Barats from
They could
Zane?
have, they could have made it. They could have made it work. But against A77, like this, because I can't really, I can announce it to you. But there was this one thing that we did, and that allowed us to completely, like, negate A77's game at all.
I like it. I like it. So
It's
so we're
kind of the
coming
same thing
in.
with what we did to Zane last season.
I feel like just ban out certain heroes and target a little bit and things
Yeah,
like
you
that.
ban this out, you play this way. Suddenly, like
The game just seems
no
easier.
way. Yeah.
I feel you. I feel it. So now where you go on to stage 3, it's going to be a round robin, 16 teams. Um, what teams do you think are like some of the threats? What teams are we prepping for? Let's say, because I mean, maybe you prep for all 16 if you really got that much time. But what teams are there like going to be the most focus on? Like how? Like what's the main goal in coming into this next stage?
I think the answer is obvious. Like, Game and Gladiators is the team that we're really looking forward to face. That's the most. That's the team that we're most prepped against. But yeah, you said it yourself. Like, we are preparing for, like, the top 16, maybe currently the top 8. But we're not limiting ourselves to, like, just looking at gaming,
Yeah.
even though that's, like, the overall mindset, because still we have to play the 15 teams,
Yeah,
so
exactly. You
we take
prep
it step
only
by
for
step.
GG, you might lose to the other 15, right?
Yeah,
You
it's
gotta.
kind of what happened to other teams in other regions. Like, you prep for this team, but you have to face this team, and then suddenly you lose. So it's
Hmm.
the same approach that we are taking, because we did prepare against Legacy, especially against Assassin Riles. We kind of, like, handled the draft well. So it's also the same with, like, the 15 teams. We take it step by step. We do it one team at a time, because we really can't focus on Game and Gladiator right now, because, like, NACT currently is stacked. NACT is stacked. It's not like the
Yeah,
the last
does feel
seasons
pretty good.
where you just have 3 4 teams, maybe even 2. Some would say 2 teams. But right now, like, these teams, especially the top 8 currently in stage 1, they're really strong as of the moment.
Yeah, I feel like this is probably going to be one of the closest seasons we've ever had. Like when it just comes to like power force, like and just how many teams have a chance at, making it to top 4 and stuff like that. Like when it does come to playoffs and things, I think for the
Yep.
first time it's going to be kind of hard to guess games. There could be some upsets here and there. It's definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Now, someone asked a question. So you do follow the scene a little bit in NA since you've been here. It's kind of been like, and you've told me yourself that when you first started kind of coaching, like you kind of started jumping into discords and learning about different players and everything,
Yeah.
and like getting the scope of the land, the feel of the land. Any player outside of BTK or Gaming Gladiators that you think is a player for fans to keep their eyes on? Anybody that
Oh,
you've
oh,
maybe that you see on another team right now that maybe you faced against in scrims or something? Are there any players maybe that you want to take a hot take on or be like, yo, this player's really impressed me?
yeah. I have a few in mind, actually. At the top of my head, I have Mark Cutie.
Okay, gold
I knew
lane.
him as a gold
He's
laner.
he's playing. Is he playing mage now for
Yeah, he's
Area
playing
77?
mage. He's playing mage. He's an amazing player. Also a Filipino. I found it recently,
That's the
like just
magician,
a
Mark
month
Cutie,
ago.
the
Yeah,
magician.
he's a very good mage. You also have Kush as well. Kind of, he's giving off the Cold World vibes. Play the jungle, XP. So
Yeah.
he's very flexible as a player. Also, like, good in terms of mechanics. You also have, like, players like Spade from No Morals, although they didn't make it to the top 8 because I
Yeah.
believe they were dropped down by A77.
I think so,
So
yeah. And then they
yeah,
lost
that
to Area 77 in the bottom bracket too. Yeah, they lost to
yeah.
Area 77 in the bottom bracket. I watched that game.
So
It was close
I
though. No
have
Morals had him at a 5K. No Morals was up 5K gold lead,
yeah they were
and
leading.
Area
I think that was a
77
zero
was
six
just
one
able to
game, I
come
think.
back. Yeah, it was really close.
Yeah, and then also you have Melon from Cush's team. He's a gold laner. Previously OSP, The Simpsons.
Yeah, yeah.
Played with Corworld. I believe a lot of the players are now like recognizing the mechanics of this guy. He's an uprising upcoming gold laner. Very amazing mechanics and also like macro gameplay overall. Uh, I don't know. I might not be able to
I think
say
that's a good
everyone
list,
because there's a
man.
lot.
Yeah, no, I think
There's a lot.
that's honestly a solid list. Kush, I'm glad Kush is kind of back to playing, because he was playing down in MLSL with Team Ignis and which was Team Ignis was like TSU, New Wave. They were the Mexico team. That's B Gamer Juan, who's now coaching one of the teams or something. I don't know, but he was
Mhm.
he coached the Mexico team, TSU, New Wave, Ignis. They got rebranded a few times, but they got
Oh.
first place down there in MLSL. They would always choke. That was like because they used to compete up here, and I always would cheer for them. I would watch. Me and Ritz would actually watch their games, watch the MLSL games, the
Uh-huh.
Mobile Legends Super League or whatever, the
Yeah.
Latam games, and same thing. They get to Liga Latam, bro. They fucking got,
Joke.
bro. They fucking choke, bro. It's like they get so close to Worlds, and they come in like. They took 2 games off of RQ Akira. They ended up losing to them, but still,
Oh
like
yeah,
they should
I
have
remember.
got second place. Like they should not have lost to BTR, and they should have not. Then they lost to like Dez's team or some shit. Like
It's the experience,
they
man.
lost to the third place team that they just
Uh-huh.
got first place against in their own league. And then when they came to League of Tom, they lost. Like they just choke when it comes down to the line. It's
Well,
so
bro,
sad. But Kush is
it's a
good.
good
Kush
thing.
played with them for a while.
It's a good thing you mentioned Des. Des actually, I was looking forward to seeing an NACT. Unfortunately, he's sub right now for gaming, so that's like a bummer for me because I really like Des's playstyle.
Yeah,
And also, he's a very flexible player. He plays gold, plays jungle, plays whatever he wants actually.
I like it. I like it. Any other guys? If you guys have any questions, now's a great time to ask. Now's a great time to ask. So we're gonna be coming into if you guys make it past top 16, you get into top 8, you do season. How is how do you balance it all? Now to talk about just more of you because you now have a lot of irons in the fire, right? You're going to be casting for MPLPH. You're going to be coaching over here. As someone that's like, if anyone sees you, they want to aspire to be you. How do you do it, man?
I mean, don't aspire to be me. I have arthritis for God's sake. But I think this goes down as a question of how people want to be an analyst or a coach. It's the hours that you put in like into crafting, honing the craft, watching MLBB, because like we talked about this with Wolf honestly when we were still like very very young in the sea. Like there's an unfair advantage with being a coach and a caster because as a caster you get to like watch all these games, you get access to like so many stuff, and as a coach it's also like giving you an advantage because you're kind of forced to like literally watch all games because as a caster I do that shit every game. I mean every day I try my best to like look at all the regions, watch the games that they play. So it is like the hours that you put into the work. That's how you get here in this position. Because like there's a difference between coaching slash being an analyst and a player. Like a player, it's still the same thing. You put in the hours. Like you play, you grind all throughout the day. Some players I know they play 12, 14 hours a day to get those mechanics down. Coaches and analysts, I mean, it differs from every person to person, but like for us, especially like the casters that are doing analyst work, we literally watch MLBB every single day of our lives. Like I even joke about it with my team, like, yo, you gotta like I kept telling Basic and Zane, you gotta start streaming, man. I'm getting disappointed. I'm getting PTSD. There's no MLBB game to watch currently because I live in like I I shifted my schedule to any time zone to accommodate BTK, and I was like, bro, I have no MLBB games to watch. You gotta start streaming, man, because literally right now I'm sipping my coffee. I have no MLBB game in my screen. Go play some ML.
Go play some. I need something to do. I need something to do. That's fair.
I need
That's
something to watch, bro.
all right. I got a question for you, and I can answer part of this, I feel like. But for Coach Mid, do you think Nick and CW can handle the pressure playing offline or on stage based on their current experience if they do make it to live stages? One quick thing to point out, a lot of people might not know, is CW has played, Cole World has played on live stage at least once before. He played in our very first offline event under The Simpsons. So at least like there's a little bit of something there. But are you guys? I know that that's like so far down the road, but
Yeah.
like what do you think is the best prep for that? Like, do you just tell Nicolette, like, listen, you're gonna start playing. I want you to go outside and start playing in front of random people or something. Like,
I mean, it's gonna depend with the person, right? Because you really don't know how people would react to certain things. But as a player, because that's the thing with like being in the team with the coach. Like the coach could actually help you deal with the pressure and stuff, like pep talks, preparing the player for the bigger stage. Because like every team will have to face it at some point. Like I don't really take that statement like in a very hard consideration, because like every player that wants to go to M series or MSC has to go through that stage. For the love of God, Flap DZ first season, new how to say this, rookie season, went to M2, won the entire thing. So there's always like gonna be that challenge of
yeah,
the player being in
some
the
people
stage
get
for the
nervous.
first
Some
time.
people feed off of it. I
Yeah.
think once they get their first big play and they hear the crowd roar, like then the stress goes away, right? You just got to get
Yep.
to that first kill. If you
Yeah.
once you get your first kill and you hear everyone, then the blood starts rushing and then you're in there, you know.
Yeah. It gets
Ho-
pumped. They get pumped, right?
yeah, you just got
But
to kill
like
them
for
before
me,
they kill you, right?
the thing is, like, people would always try to bring some players down by saying that, oh, they don't have stage experience, they don't have confidence. Like, again, you have Laptesi as a, as an example, but
hmm
I do see it as a legitimate concern, because it is like it is facts, like it will affect the player's mental state, like how they are able to play the game, how they're going to be performing in terms of like having to face an audience, playing the stage. Those factors are really legitimate, but at some point you just gotta say, like, you still have to play the game. There's still the game to be played, and if the player really wants it, it's his like it's his objective to overcome the challenge. It's
hmm
not like upon the team to deal with that, because like for example, Zane stepping up in M3, nobody told him, yo, this is your first stage experience, you might crumble, you might fall under the pressure.
hmm Yeah, they made it, right? Oh, I lost him. I lost you, Midnight. Midnight's mic died. End of interview, guys. Let me send him a message real quick. It died. Guys, we're not going to ask questions about Zane's hero pool. Maybe we'll. Oh, I think he's back. Oh,
Where
there he is.
like
There he is.
where was I cut off?
I don't remember. We're,
Yeah,
we're
I was talking
pretty
about.
much just about like not talking about play, like you just same thing, like we can't. Zane did okay, and no one told Zane like, oh, you might crumble in M3 or you might stay in
Yeah,
M3, whatever. That was kind of the.
I mean, that's like a legitimate concern, right? But what got him to third place was the sheer confidence and the will to represent NA and win the entire thing. So I think that's good. So it really is upon the player to sort of like face that face that shit alone. Because like for me and as a team, as much as possible, we'd want to help. We want to help, but it is upon the player to sort of like face that themselves.
Feel ya. All right, this you don't have to answer this one. This one's kind of a hot take, hot question, kind of a toxic question. What what do you think about people saying Mobazane's hero pool is low? When in international tournaments, literally those 3 to 4 heroes being played, he just gets banned out because enemies like TOB don't see us. I don't really get the last thing, but do we think there's an issue with with Zane's hero pool at all? Are we working on expanding hero pools of all the players? Are we kind of just like knowing what we have? Like, where are we going with that as a coach right now?
It's a big yes, because we did kind of show it up. We did kind of show the world that it was the case back in Avalon. So I think that's an obvious answer. Yeah, he does have an issue with like the hero pool and stuff, especially like with the current patch right now. Like not a lot of Zane's heroes are available. That's why we're training with some of them. You've seen like the Barats, the Alpha, even the Paquito during the qualifiers. But we are sort of like working on expanding the pool as of the moment, because I did tell my players that drafting is one part of the game where we would win out, like in terms of tactics and strategies. But what helps drafting is the player's hero pool. Like if I am able to do this because you guys can play this and are able to sort of like flex this into different roles, like drafting will be a lot easier and a lot more deadly against other teams, because now I can do this. It's also something that I talked to private about, like banning out Zane's heroes last season. It was also dangerous for us, because if you look into like the statistics with Mobile Zane and Guapo, they played the same thing. Like literally all five of the heroes that Zane used, Guapo also used. So it
Mm-hmm.
was dangerous for us, like to do that strat against Zane. It was just fortunate for us that when we did the draft prep, it worked out for us. So there was like a lot of uh tinkering that happened during the prep work against BTK, because it had to come down to like the picks that we had, the draft pattern, draft order. So I feel like, to answer that question again, it's an obvious yes. We do have like some serious hero pool issues, especially on the jungle side, and also considering like the patch that we are in right now. Jungle is just so weird,
Yeah, it
like
is
it's
weird.
really weird, because there's like no genuine good junglers as of the moment. Maybe two at the top of my head, but there's no real good heroes in the jungle role.
Yeah,
So
there's no
we
like
are.
there's no prio ban jungle picks right
Yeah,
now, right? And it's
exactly.
probably one of the first times ever there hasn't been a hero, at least like one or two heroes that's like you have to ban this and it's a jungler. Like
Yep,
literally any jungle you can pretty much pick from right now cuz it's not getting banned.
yep. And we're working on that. Like me and Zane had a discussion about it. We are working on like expanding, not just with Zane, like even with Basic, Coral, Nicolette, Mellow, where we're because we're in a stage where people would experiment just to get a grasp of things, and
Mhm.
we currently know like what heroes are good, especially during practice. But we're still like looking into like exploring more options, so that come NACT we have like a lot of different
Yeah.
a lot of
You have some
different heroes
tricks
that
in your
are.
pocket, right? You got some extra cards up your sleeve, you know?
Yep.
Those are the secret scrims that you don't just scrim anybody in.
Yeah, those are the scripts that are not in life.
Yeah. Someone wanted to ask, so what made you coach in NA? Um, when there's a lot more better opportunities in MPL region. Um, my guess is like a lot of orgs already have coaches and stuff and things like that, and this was possibly a nice way in at least. And like, so what was your thoughts on it? What brought you over here, and what's making you stay?
To be fair, it's mostly because of Naisu, because Naisu introduced me to a bunch of people in NA. But what also
Shout
got
out to
me
Naisu.
hopping into NA, that aside from the fact that I can't coach in MPLPH, because like that's conflict of interest, because I'm
Yeah.
casting like the region. But what got me interested with NA is that I have this sort of like mantra where I want to work with underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at my past work with organizations, I've worked with like a bunch of top 8, top 9, top 10 teams. Like even before with SGD, Next Play Evos, like that's public record. I like working with teams that I can help, because the thing is, like, if I work with Blacklist, if I work with AP Brent, or if I work with Onyx, like, what would be my impact on that team? Like, is that gonna help me overall? Is that gonna help the team overall, or is that gonna help me sort of like develop this structure with regions at all? So NA just was just a perfect fit, because I really admired how NA got past like the M3 struggles and shenanigans. I really admired the BTK storyline, and the downfall like of NA in M4 and M5. I mean, I'm not saying it as a jab to the region, but overall, like I think NA has a huge potential, has a huge untapped potential,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just that the structure isn't there. So I feel like it's it's a leverage for me to utilize, because if I work there and I'm able to sort of like uh you know make an impact, that will be helpful not just for me but for the entire region, because now people would start looking into like importing coaches, learning the ropes, why certain regions are just more successful. We can start pouring in like the experience to this region that has huge potential. So I think overall it's like for the growth, not just personal but for the growth of the entire scene, because honestly I'm tired with like the Southeast Asia reigning over this game, because we want to open up to the we want to open up to the entire world. That's why working with like regions like this, even MENA, like a lot of Filipino coaches are now in MENA. So I think that's an overall great thing for MLBB. So that's why I hopped into NA.
Hell yeah, I like it, man. I do agree. I think it's something I've always kind of felt. Maybe I'm biased, but I feel like NA does have the talent, and like you said very early on in this interview, like there's definitely a lot of like I think we have a lot of mechanically gifted players and micro mechanics and like know how to fight, know how to scrap. I think it's one of the things that brought BTK so far in M3. One of the things that brought the Valley into top 5, top 6 in M4. I think what's happening though is so many other regions are now, even if their micro isn't as good, even if their team fights aren't as good, they are growing in the sense of macro. Like they are getting these coaches from
Yeah.
all over and they're learning different things. And that is something that I feel like as a lot of these teams they've just kind of lacked on, right? And I think that's kind of like the final puzzle piece. And if that can get really
Yep.
kind of drilled into a lot of these players, who could know what's next, right?
Yeah. That's what we aim for, right? Like people opening up their minds to why certain things are the way they are. Like if you look at Southeast Asia, the reason why Indo and PH have been dominating is that they were the first two regions to establish a coaching staff. That's not a secret. Like if you look into why Evos won and M1, Ducky has said this earlier in in the life of MBB. It was just because they had a good staff. They had a coaching staff. They had a head coach. Ducky was a assistant coach, if I'm not mistaken. And then Philippines followed suit. They started dominating after SEA Games. Teams started picking up these analysts, their coaches. They gave a proper structure to the professional team, a proper training resume. That's why if you go to Southeast Asia, there is a proper scrim schedule between like the major regions: Malaysia, Cambodia, Singapore, Indonesia, PH. They scrim at the same time, like all regions. It's crazy. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you're new to the scene, and if you haven't heard, like all these regions, they wake up, they play warm-ups, and they scrim at the same time. There's
Yeah.
no time difference. Fuck time zone. We're doing this at this specific time. That's how they work. That's how the training resume is
I
in Southeast
saw
Asia. You
yeah, I
go to
saw
other regions, right?
I
You go to other
saw the
regions.
interview with VYs and they were saying that they were like, "Yeah, we're kind of it's kind of nice being influencers now or whatever." Like when we were more of with the org and boot camping, it's like wake up
Yeah,
in the morning, scrims eat breakfast, scrims at 2 till 10, and then go
yeah,
to
regular
sleep and
schedule.
do it all over again. Like just
Yep.
every single day, like 8 hours a day and it's like, "Holy shit, man."
You compare that to other regions, like, yo, what time you wake up depends. What time is scrim depends.
Depends.
And you're like, okay, that's weird.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Yeah, I'm not used to this. Like, I can wake up anytime I want. Yeah, I mean, it's normal, casual. But in PH, holy shit, 12:30, you're still not awake. Coach would go to your fucking room and wake you up, maybe with a glass of cold water.
Yeah.
Pour that water in your face. Yo, 30 minutes in, eat lunch, go to the bathroom, wash yourself, get ready. We have scrim at 1 p.m.
Hell yeah. Um, I feel like you already have a team that you want, but someone did ask a good one. If you could, if I don't really like that question. I don't know. Someone asked, please ask him which players he would want if given a chance to form a team in NA. Would you stick with the team that you have, or would you completely build a new one?
Uh, Honestly, I don't really care. Like overall, I just want. Again,
Just
I'm
give me
that
people
type
that
of
want to
like.
play.
No, I mean like I'm the type of coach or a person where I do with what I have. I don't really like consider things like that. I don't ask myself the questions, what if I got this? What if I got this better? What if I got this? Because that's like so toxic to me personally. Because if you think that way, there would be some things in life that you'd miss an opportunity to work on or get the better things out of something. So I don't really mind with dealing with the current things that I have. That's why I don't think. Maybe it's just that I don't have an answer to that question because that I don't think about it.
Oh yeah. Well, it's getting late for me. I know it's still midday for you. Any
It
any
is.
final words to say? Anything to tell the people? Let's go BTK. Anything at all?
Maybe support NA region as a whole, not just not just the gamings, the BTK, but support the NA region as a whole. And also thank you for like the people that are really excited about the things that we're working on. Excited about like me coaching BTK. It's not literally it's not literally an actual role that I work on. It's more of like helping BTK, but I'm really grateful that people are giving the support, the love, that the appreciation with the help at all. That's why I mean for me as last message, I would want to say to the NA region, let's keep this up. I know that NA has a lot of great things in store for the upcoming months and years.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Pabra.
It was a pleasure, man. I wish we'd keep going, but it's getting late for me and I have work at 10 a.m. Next time we got a VC and it won't be as formal. We'll just hang out. Are you plan on watching Games of Future, man?
Oh yeah, I am. I gotta.
All right.
I,
Fair, fair,
it's like
fair, fair.
it's part of my daily routine.
Gotcha. So yeah, hell yeah. Let's definitely try to VC again. Maybe a bit more chill next time, comrade. And
Yep.
until next time, 3 a.m. in the Philippines, bro.
Yeah, 3 a.m. in the Philippines. Thank you, comrade. Much
Thank you,
appreciated.
thank you. To those that don't know, Midnight like showed me and Nami around when I was over there in PH. He was very friendly. Like took us out. We went to BGC at 3 a.m. We were rapping on the corner, catching cabs.
Oh, yeah.
Nami woke some cab driver up in the middle of the night, and
Oh shit,
me and
yeah.
Midnight would like hide in the back because we knew they would say yes to the girl, and then once they said yes, that they'd give her because no one would give us a ride all the way to BGC because it was so far, and then Nami
Yeah.
would go and knock on the cab. And she'd be like, "Can I have a ride?" with her little ooh woo face. And then they'd be like, "Yeah." And then me and Midnight would walk up and be like, "All right, cool, let's go." So yeah, it was fun
That was
times.
that, that was fun.
I got yelled at by a midget, legitimate
Yeah.
midget.
500, come here.
500 karaoke.
Karaoke. Consumable.
Those good times. I missed that already. All right, bro. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And you weren't even midnight. It was great having you. I didn't like prep you for any questions, so I appreciate you being so
Yeah, it's all
awesome
right.
and like
It was
answering
fun.
everything. So
Yeah.
thank you, man. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Have a good one.
All right, guys. That's gonna be it. We're gonna call it. There's a little quick one, nothing major. Yeah, man, it was fun. To everyone asking the fucking private question, man, guys, he already posted a comment on Zkilled's video saying that like, yo, there's no beef. Like him and private have already talked. I'm not gonna ask him a question about private. It's like it's a pointless question, guys. Anyone that knows either of them should understand. Like anyone that understands the community between casters and stuff should know that like there is definitely no beef. Like just because something like private happened to say something that maybe came out of context or something, or maybe it wasn't out of context, but like he just spoke his opinion. Like he's allowed to have his opinion, and you guys are allowed to have your opinions. And Midnight understands that, and Midnight's not angry, and private's not angry. Like it's literally just viewers who are weird and blow things out of proportion per usual. So yeah, guys, that's why I didn't ask him the question, because it's just a pointless question. It's like literally just trying to edge the fire more, and then it's like, what, we're going to hope that Midnight says something silly, you know? Like that's all that is. Like, oh, ask him what he thinks about private. And it's like, maybe Midnight will say something that will get clipped and we can stir the pot some more. There you go. That's your next. That's what you. Next time you have some real drama clips. Next time you have some real spicy drama, just put a little clip of me in there, stirring the pot, stirring the pot. Love you guys. I need a stir in the pot meme of TREX. Do you think Midnight has a plan for GG? I mean, I think Midnight, I think they will have a plan. I don't know if they'll be able to execute it. I don't know. I mean, is GG going to have a plan for BTK? I don't know. I will say this. I like I've said it before, no matter what, I think any coach, even if Midnight was like complete, which I don't think Midnight is, but even if Midnight was complete garbage, just having someone to watch your games for you, give you little tidbits, is helpful. Even if Midnight isn't, quote unquote, a pro coach, he has been an analyst casters for many years. He's watched many games just like me. And what I can say is anyone that watches that much Mobile Legends is going to see things, is going to know things, and is going to be able to see little, like at least when it comes down to base rotations. And as long as literally just having someone like that, even if I can't give you one-on-one training, or I can't tell you exactly how to be the best gold laner, exactly how to be the best jungler, just being able to have someone that can like give you input is always a plus. Two minds are always better than one. TREX, is a midget smaller than Nami? Yes. No, like this was a legitimate midget that was yelling at me to come into the karaoke shop. And literally, like, we were not in a good neighborhood. Like, we were in a pretty rough neighborhood. Like, Leo and Naisu were telling everyone at the hotel, they were like, hey, guys, probably don't go walk around out here alone, right? It's definitely a place, like, you could get robbed at. And so we go out as there's 4 of us. So we feel good. We're walking around. But it's definitely not, like, the nicest area. Like, you can tell that. And fucking Nami has just, like, got her phone out, holding it with one hand, vlogging as the 4 of us are walking down the street, purse in the other hand, phone. She's freaking 4 foot, all of 4'8", just walking around vlogging. Hey guys, where blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Nami, put your phone away, man. You want someone to just run by and snatch that thing. Have I met Mirko? Yeah, Mirko's my boy. Then Nami would pass. Every time we took a cab, Nami would pass out. Every time we took a cab, Nami would pass out. I don't know. I'd be sitting there, I know, Nami would be like, I'd be like, Nami, what are you doing? Because Midnight would always be up front. Because he spoke Tagalog very well. Like, Nami speaks it, but still, Midnight was the local, so he would always kind of ride in the front of the cabs and kind of like let him know where we need to go. And we'd be sitting there. The roads are always bumpy, and I don't know, I'd feel Nami. She would take little like 10-minute naps throughout the whole day. Every time we took a ride, every time, without fail. Anytime we took a ride, Nami was napping. I don't know how she did it. It was hilarious. Basically, yes, a cat, just like a cat, just like Nami the cat. Nami the cat. Exactly. All right, guys. Much love. Thank you all. I'm going to get some rest. I got work tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining. Hope you guys enjoyed the interview with Midnight. The talk with Midnight was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for the questions and all that good stuff. Arvel, what's up, man? Have a good night. Good luck in your games coming up. You played great during the qualifiers. Excited to see more games this weekend. See you guys then.